Hey, look at that. Season 2, episode 2 already. Talking the Justice League with Reno and The Rev right here. Monday night, 8 p.m. Pacific. Why not? Because who's got anything better than to hang out with Reno and The Rev? Hey, we're going to do a little bit of trailer trash talk and some who's watching what. But man, Justice League. Just got done with it. First time I've watched it. We'll talk about it right here on Whatcha Watchin. Yeah. Sorry about that. Hello, everybody. I am the still recovering The Rev. Nah, not if he sees you first. And over there is I get sick and all through the holidays because I am super cool, Mr. Reno, believer in truth, justice, and
the American way.
I want to be an American and fight to believe.
No, that's not the American song. Oh. It's America. Fuck yeah.
America.
Say the motherfucking day, yeah, America.
As G.I. Jose says.
I would talk Rev into putting that on his soundboard, but I'm sure we'd get hit with a copyright notice.
Oh, in a heartbeat. It won't take long at all. Hey, you know what we're going to do right now? We're going to talk about a little bit of trailer trash talk. That's right. We are going to get into it and see what trailers we watched this week. That way we can laugh at them together. Yeah. Don't mind the Facebook. We'll get past that. All right. Cold Skin. I kind of dug it. Dude gets dropped off on this friggin' lighthouse island with this really creepy long-haired dude, and all these mer people come out after him.
Very HP Lovecraftian. And the one thing that sucks was while I was trying to watch this on my phone, it kept fucking messing up, and I was having a hell of a time watching it.
Go back and watch it, because I think this one's going to be a decent one.
In the end, it was worth it, though.
Yeah, I mean, I really the trailer does tell a little bit too much about the story. It's kind of like I don't really need to see it now. It was a 3-minute short, but check the trailer out. Cold Skin. It was definitely watched it, and then the British horror movie Ghost Stories, starring everybody's favorite dude that plays everybody. He was in So Long and Thanks for All the Fish. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. He played the Hobbit. He played Bilbo. He plays all the people we know.
Bilbo,
Too bad I don't
little Hobbit that we all admire.
Too bad I don't really know what his real name is. Isn't that sad? I don't know the actor's real friggin' name.
So it's not that name right there.
Martin Freeman. That's the guy. Yeah, Martin Freeman. Yeah, that's the guy right there. Official Ghost Stories, official trailer #1. I was intrigued.
Rev can't read sometimes.
Well, I am dyslexic as hell, so I don't bother most times. So, way to pick on a disability, jackass.
Oh, I can do it because I'm your friend.
Oh, is that how that works? You can point my shortcomings to the world.
Well, some people like to act cool and say certain words just because they know certain people.
Right. You got me doing that.
So why can't I?
You dick. All right.
Right. Yeah, we discovered I'm Dr. Evil now because I have a tendency to be like, right.
Well, the Hatchet series has come out with a new incarnation, Victor Crowley, and I got to tell you, I want it now. Like I want to watch this movie. I don't want to wait anymore.
I'm feeling like Ed from one of the episodes, Ed and Eddie, where I'm just like, I want movie now.
Yeah, make time go faster, says the girl from Willy Wonka.
Exactly.
Yeah,
this has officially become the Friday the 13th of our era.
It probably will be, but they are spouting it as a comedy horror.
Which this is what happened to Friday the 13th. This is pretty much getting to part 6 territory. No surprise, because the guy who directed this is a huge Friday the 13th fan like me.
You know, and if he can put Victor Crowley in space, I'm sure he will.
Oh God, no, please. Hey, what?
I have a question for you, man. What you been watching?
Oh, I've been watching all sorts of shit. I've been watching
Yu-Gi-Oh!
No, it's Yu-Gi-Oh!
Unfortunately, the critics don't watch the cartoons for little kids, so
well, I watch the cartoons for little kids, and by the way, it's anime. Gosh,
noob. It's anime, so it's not even made for Americans. It's made for little kids and non-Americans. Great. Well, apparently,
yes,
8 out of 10 people are going to sit down with you and watch this.
Because we like to solve our problems with children card games.
Yes, with children's card games. That's right. I choose you, Pikachu. Oh wait, that's something else.
Wrong one, jackass.
That's how much I know about it.
I call on the blue eyes white dragon.
I tap you for extra mana. Yeah. Oh wait, that's something else too.
No, wrong one. That's Rev. You are embarrassing me in front of my cool friends.
Unfortunately, I'm not of that era. I'm just outside of it. I never played any of that crap. Now, if you want to sit around and play some poker, I'm down. We can play Hold'em. We can play 5 card. We can play 7 card. We can play some 21. I'm down for playing
this
cards.
Is, for my generation, I think this was one of the big ones. Like there was Pokemon, and then there was this.
I
remember every kid on the playground.
Oh wait, that's something else entirely.
You're still Rev. No, bad Rev. Bad. Go sit in the corner.
I love these conversations. I really do. Next up, you were watching something better. Let's put it that way.
No, this was not better.
No,
but it was. Nope, this wasn't as entertaining. But it was nice white noise, and what I wanted included this for one reason, because it was better than Discovering Bigfoot.
It was better than Discovering Bigfoot.
And it was made probably for the same budget. And guess what? They did one thing that was the only thing that Discovering Bigfoot had to do to make it tolerable. They had good audio.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that Steve Coles was in. I've seen this one before.
Right. I don't even know who that is.
Steve Coles, the squash detective, man. That guy goes after Biscardi's friggin' quarterly finance reports. That's what
is he the host of this? Or
no, he wasn't the host of it, but he was one of the features in it. I think the host in it was Eric Altman, but
but I do think I saw Jeff Meldrum in this.
No, Jeff Meldrum? Yeah, I didn't know he was in this.
Yeah. Sneak peek of what's in store for the Squatters Lounge podcast.
Wednesday night, 8 p.m. That's right. Voices in the Night. Come check out the Rev and what he's doing there. So this was crap, unfortunately. So we'll skip on right past it to something that wasn't crap.
But it was kind of nice crap.
But
this is better crap.
The critics finally meet up with the people, and even 85% fresh. Yeah, 8.5 out of 10 people are going to sit down and watch the redo of it, and I'd do it. I'll sit down and watch it with you.
Oh yeah, it still holds up after we reviewed it. I really still dig this horror movie. It's pretty much what sparked my interest in watching more modern horror movies and getting out of my phase of all modern movies are crap. I'm only into the old stuff.
Old stuff is better on VHS because you have to use 3 cables of RCA to make them attached to your television.
Exactly. And just the modern stuff, they don't know how to make movies good. They don't know how to good movies.
No, because they're all cheap bastards and want to make them for $1.
Yeah, exactly. But as I said, this is good movie. Okay, go give it watch. I have one question now.
Yeah, what's your question? Yeah.
Rev?
Yeah.
Rev. What you been watching?
Oh, I've been watching stuff. I've been watching a lot of stuff.
Rev, you've been watching stuff.
Yeah, The Fate of the Furious hit cable this week, and I've been watching the crap out of it. I've seen it like 4 times already. This is the one where they start out in Cuba, and they end up fighting the arch nemesis, Cypher, played by everything all of a sudden, Charlize Theron. Yeah, it's a long way from the street racing movie of LA from long ago. It's a long way away from that. But that doesn't make it any less entertaining.
Were you watching anything good this week?
Hey, 7.3 people out of 10 are going to sit down and watch this with me, while the other 2.7 of you jerk off to friggin' Halloween 3 in the closet. So,
no, I'm watching The Room right now, and soon you will be.
That 9 out of 10 people are with me out there watching this while you're in the room jerking off.
I'm sure 9 out of 10 people are with me.
I doubt it. But then I went to Back to the Future.
Hey, you were actually watching something good.
Marty, I just sent you Back to the Future. What are you doing here? Yeah, they've been busting out the Back to the Future since like Christmas, but it's on cable, so there's no commercials, and I actually dig it that way. I was sitting there watching Doc earlier today while I was laying off my back, and it was just a lot of fun to sit and watch the original. Because when they did the original, they didn't know there was going to be 2 and 3. You know, they were just like hoping there would be 2 and 3, and then it's hysterical to watch them change girlfriends between the end of 1 and the beginning of 2. You know, he was dating Elizabeth. It was Elizabeth Shue in the second and third one, but it was this other actor in the first one, and it was just kind of funny that they didn't even.
Sorry, during this whole thing of you talking about Back to the Future, I was just thinking about something better. Rick and Morty, yeah, Pickle Rick.
So finally, I wrapped up my viewing pleasure this week with The Outsiders. That's right, The Outsiders, the movie that has everybody you would ever recognize in it ever. But why, oh why, would I watch The Outsiders? And it was all because of a particular chick named Cherry. That's right. She also plays Martha.
Why did you say that name?
Why did you say that name? I love The Outsiders, this movie. I read the book.
Like the critics didn't like him as much as you did, and I don't know why.
Yeah, well, the critics are dumb. That's why. Most cases, this is the way it ends up with me, is the critics end up failing it, and I end up liking it. So critics watch shit for different reasons. I never understood why. I read the book Rumblefish, but I can't stand Matt Dillon. I can't stand his face. Like, if I lived in a house with Matt Dillon, he'd have to change his face, or I'd have to punch him in it every day.
That's how much of when me and my friends were in a joking insult fight, and I was just like, I don't like your face. Get a new one.
You better do something about that face, or I'm gonna do something about it for you. I'm just not sure what yet. But yeah, the chick that played Cherry plays Superman's mom in tonight's feature, The Justice League. So I figured I would give that one a rewatch. Hey, you know what time it is?
It's that time.
It's time to see who's hanging out there in the live chat room. It's so empty that it bounces off of the walls out there.
So please come join us in our ever-changing schedule.
Yeah, just go to I don't even know how to tell you when we're going to be on anymore. Rod Dupree, my man, is always in the place to be.
Oh God, Rev, you really need to take some allergy medicine before
probably. Sam Squanch Rivera. Yeah, there's the Rev. Star shine at me.
I'm sure she's voting with me that we need to do The Room.
Y'all can do a feature without me. You know what? Y'all can come on and do an episode about The Room. I won't watch it, but I'll just come in and produce it for you.
That's going to happen.
That's a fair offer. I'm offering you to be able to do a show on The Room without me having to watch it. Star, you're invited on to co-host The Room show, and I'll just produce it for you guys.
Because he doesn't have good taste in bad movies.
Yeah, I just don't watch.
He still thinks that freaking Santa Claus Conquers the Martians is a better bad movie than The Room.
It was a whole lot better,
like an amateur.
I mean, look, Airheads is a better movie than The Room.
I'm sorry,
and that's got
nobody's heard of Airheads.
Yeah, that's got Pip farting on a snare drum.
Nope, sorry.
That's
no. Sorry, nope. You lose. No,
nope. You lose.
No.
Yeah, well, as soon as they make Jurassic Park 2, Sam, then I'll put that one in to watch. But we're still waiting for them to make the second part of Jurassic Park.
They did, And
they did Jurassic World, and we're now waiting for Jurassic World 2. But yeah, unfortunately, they never made a Jurassic Park 2.
They did.
Well, we don't have 100 subs, so I y'all are gonna have to prove it to me.
I'm gonna start holding people ransom to.
So finally, we get around to watching Justice League. At least me, for the first time today.
Yeah, I was gonna say by we, he means him.
I kind of been avoiding it because this movie for me certainly recertifies a lot of my iffiness about certain people playing certain characters. However, I will say I enjoyed the movie a hell of a lot better than Batman versus Superman, which is like way down on the bottom of my superhero movie list. So I will say that it's quite a few notches above that crap storm, but it still had kind of its own problems. But I kick it over to you, sir, to give us a synopsis of what happened to us in Justice League.
All right, so Justice League. This is basically the culmination of DC's attempt to make a cinematic universe, kind of like what Marvel did with the Avengers. So basically, the plot is basically like we know, Superman's dead from Batman v Superman. Batman's still out there Batmaning. Wonder Woman's kind of coming out of hiding, it seems. We are introduced to a couple more of the heroes, like the Flash and Aquaman and Cyborg. And I just brain farted because I realize we got to deal with this villain. Because with the big bad of this movie is coming in to take these mother boxes. Yeah, this is getting to be the toughest part of the movie, is just summing it up in a way that sounds interesting.
An ancient evil comes back to Earth to collect protected boxes to create a unity of ultimate power to turn the Earth into a
and burning, you know why this is tough to sum up? And you know why this is tough to sum up? Because this is the fucking Avengers.
Yes, it is.
Think of it. Just take the plot of the Avengers, make Loki less interesting, and boom, you got Justice League.
Pretty much. And he gets treated the same way. I'm a god. Puny god. He gets dealt with the same way by Superman in the end.
Yeah, basically, that's all that happens. I don't really know how much I can add to the summing up of the plot, because we basically just did that.
Well, yeah, I mean, this was the origin story for Aquaman, whatever his real name was.
Aquaman, Jason Momoa.
Whatever the character's name was. They kept calling
Curry.
Arthur Curry.
That's why I'm here, because I'm the DC nerd.
Part of it is part of the things that well, let's just get into the pros and cons, but I'm gonna start with the cons because there's a lot of them.
And I think in this case, it would be nice to start off the cons. I feel like, for me at least,
we finished with the cons too many. Yeah, exactly. But every single scene was heavily CGI'd. I mean, to a point to where it didn't feel real.
I don't even think it's the fact that it's that. I think it's the fact that because of for those who don't know the history of the movie, it went through extensive reshoots because of a horrible tragedy that happened to Zack Snyder through shooting, that he had to back out of the directing duties, and it was passed down to Josh Whedon. And so they had to go.
Nothing about the movie, and it was the same case. It was lit well, it was color graded well, it was edited together well. It was, the continuity was there. There weren't a lot of those mistakes that were out there, but it just never felt like a place that I could believe was actually there. Like Gotham, when they do the Batman movies, I believe Gotham's there. Right. And when they do the Superman movie, I believe that Metropolis is there. There wasn't anything about this movie that I felt I could believe was actually there. It was almost like watching a cartoon. But it's supposed to be Earth in live action. It felt so very much cartoonish to me that it just, I never really got into it. I felt myself, my birds were making noise and I drifted off over there for a few minutes. I mean, I felt myself drifting off from the movie because I wasn't entranced by it enough to stick with it. But that said, the costuming was great. The visuals were good. The special effects were fucking great. I didn't quite understand the physics of how Aquaman swam around in the fucking underwater that way.
Yeah, right. That's one thing that I noticed watching. Is just like, yeah, he swam kind of like how Superman flies,
right? And
underwater, I don't feel like that translates as
well. It doesn't, because water is friction, and it's a whole lot more friction than air. So basically, Aquaman would have to be like 30 times stronger than Superman.
Momoa's, there's no friction on that.
Oh, no friction, baby. We're gonna bareback slide into that monster. But you get my point.
And now I just made our audience question my orientation.
We already know that what your orientation is. You should introduce your friend Chad then on the next show. Nobody will be surprised.
Oh God! Better yet, gonna have so many stalkers.
You can bring your friend Pat in, and that way we can never tell whether she's really a girl or a dude.
You mean Patty
or Chris? Yeah, my friend Chris is gonna come see me. Anyhow, pros of the movie. Cons of the movie still is where I was.
We didn't really get to enough cons, man. There's still more.
No, I'm sorry. As much as people want to say they like her, with 80% of Wonder Woman's friggin' scenes being CGI'd anyhow, they should have gotten a bigger actress. When she stood next to Batman, he dwarfed her. She's an Amazon. She's a giant 6'4", one-boobed Amazon. But not this Wonder Woman. She's like 5'8", and she's this wide.
Yeah, but remember, keep in mind the Amazons that you're referencing are more historical Amazons.
I'm talking about the original drawn Wonder Woman from the comic books.
I don't ever remember her being one-boobed.
Well, she was a giant. That was the whole thing about the Amazon tribe, was they were giants. I mean, anyhow, regardless of that, I'm not buying her as Wonder Woman. I just have a really hard time in every scene that she's in buying her as Wonder Woman, and I don't know why.
In that case, you can sit off in the corner and jerk off to Halloween 3, while the rest of us love her as Wonder Woman.
Momoa I bought as Aquaman, no problem. The kid they had playing Barry Allen, the Flash, whatever. He was kind of worthless. What did he really do? He pushed a truck out of the way.
He saved some people.
Pushed her sword back to her. He's like, up until now, all I've really done is run
a lot of parademons.
Did he?
Yeah, remember in the final fight, he goes, zoom, took out a shit ton of them. And he was like, oh, that's gross. I got a bunch of parademon goo on me.
Ew, it's gooey. Having there was a lot of good things that like I said, the editing was done well. The color grading was done well. There wasn't anything in the back end of it that made me feel as though that's what ruined the movie. Nothing really ruined the movie. It was a decent movie. It wasn't fabulous. It wasn't top notch. It didn't make the kind of money that a fabulous movie makes. It did okay. It did all right. And I think, that they've got a decent universe to play with now. But in the same token,
my only con though, because I really only have one, and it's something I kind of touched on when summing this movie up. A lot of the cons you mentioned, I easily can forgive, but the one that I can't is the villain, Steppenwolf. They got the most bland, boring villain for the Justice League's first outing. And that really annoys me because DC Comics in general, they have a wonderful library of villains. This is the freaking comic book company that came up with villains like Lex Luthor, Brainiac, Doomsday, Bizarro,
Dr. Doom,
Black Manta. No, Dr. Doom was not DC. That was Marvel.
Oh, was that Super Friends?
That was Fantastic Four.
Who was in the Legion of Doom?
Legion of Doom had Lex Luthor.
Because that's what I was thinking of. Now the Legion of Doom, it comes up out of the swamp.
I can never remember who all, because that roster like friggin' rotates so much. But anyways, you get my point. There was so many villains that from their catalog of baddies to choose from, and they choose.
I'm just glad they didn't bring another Kryptonian back. Like, you know, right. Superman's had enough battles with Kryptonians in fucking DC Universe movies. I'm glad.
Oh, yeah. Like, I get what they were wanting to do, because they were trying to set up for basically the DC's universe's equivalent of Thanos, even though he was made before Thanos, was Darkseid, which went to waste when Joss Whedon took over and he deleted those scenes anyways.
Right. And, you know,
this was a post-credit scene where after Steppenwolf gets taken back to the planet of Apocalypse, Darkseid just executes him. He's like, I'm going to give the Kryptonian a visit now. Which is not what we got. Although we did get a funny little post-credit scene with Flash and Superman.
I didn't actually watch that, to tell you the truth.
Well, there was a where they were getting ready to race. And Superman just makes a quip. He's like, all right, if I win, you're off the team. And he's like, what? And Superman's like, just kidding with you. You're just taking us to brush. Bruce just said something about brunch. He's like, oh, that hurts. That's a betrayal.
I wasn't all that impressed with Cybertron,
yeah,
whatever the fuck his name was. Cyborg.
Yeah.
I just they could have done a lot more with practical. And I mean, literally, that dude was like, he was standing there in a fucking Green Man suit with like this much of his fucking face showing. You know,
right? I know. My problem with that is, granted, mine comes from a more nerdy aspect, because I get that they were basing this DC universe off the current comic run where Cyborg is a part of the League, but when I was growing up, he was a part of the Teen Titans and not the League. So I'm just thinking, like, what? He's not supposed to be in the Teen Titans.
Isn't that
no, he's supposed to be in the Teen Titans. He's not supposed to be in the League.
Isn't that where the girl Robin comes from, is the Teen Titans?
No, that's from The Dark Knight Returns. That's a different. We should just do a comic book freaking show where I sit here and tutor Rev on everything in comics.
Oh, that's funny. Hey, we got to give a couple of late shout outs out there to the chat room. I see our boy Kurt Harris has finally joined in with Mr. Dean Cooper.
Fuck you, Dean.
Finally gotten on board with us as well. Bara Huta.
Mila Kunis. Well, I think this would be a good point, now that we're done bitching, to get into the pros on this movie, at least.
Well, I did say a lot of the pros. I did say my pros of the movie. I said it was finally directed. It was edited well. It was color graded well. It was the story was.
Oh, I didn't get to. Well, I guess I need to catch up to you. I need to get on your level.
You need to come at me, yo. Come at me.
Let me get this pro out there. They at least made an attempt at getting a more cheerful Superman once he came back.
No, God, no. Are you kidding me? That was like the.
What are you talking about? He was actually making quips. He was.
Yeah, after he went off and boned Lois for God only knows how many days that was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he only tried to kill everybody that brought him back to life. Fuck it. Well, yeah, and they never did explain what turned him back into good Superman.
Well, I got just what we needed. I got the point across that he kind of was a little. He didn't quite remember a lot yet, and like when they brought Lois out, that kind of jogged his memory.
I don't know, man.
He was struggling to remember what it was. I get that.
At the end, I think you're right. They were trying to friendly him up a little bit, because that's always been one of my big complaints about the character that they write of Superman was You know, Superman is not very likable. He should be.
Right. They kind of were trying to make him kind of like Batman. They made him a little bit more likable towards the end, like especially in that post-credit scene. Again, I like Ben Affleck as Batman. I know you think he's fat, Fleck.
I just don't believe him as Batman. I believe him as Bruce Wayne, but I just don't believe him as Batman. Kind of like Michael Keaton. I never believed Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne, but he was an awesome Batman. If you could give me Fat Fleck as Bruce Wayne and Michael Keaton as Batman, I'd be down. Even today, Michael Keaton. But anyhow, I digress.
Well, we'll get that when they do a Batman Beyond movie. Hopefully. Jason Momoa as Aquaman. Freaking yeah. I can't wait to see him in the Aquaman movie.
It'll be interesting to see him communicate with the fishes.
But which they established he doesn't really talk with fish. It's the currents. He guides them.
It's the water that talks to the fishes.
The water does the talking.
The water does the talking. You know, it'll be interesting to see that whole Atlantis. You know, what they're going to come up with for Atlantis, for the real Atlantis. Right. We'll get to see.
And my last pro was the way they ended the movie. I don't know. I just like that way they ended on a note where it showed like all the heroes, like finally, I guess, coming out of the shadows, like in their respective cities, saving the day and all.
Well, that was the thing with Wonder Woman. It was she could no longer hide behind the scenes.
Right.
She needed to come forward and lead. But had she been on the island with the mother box in the first place, then the first box would have never left. She's a god killer. She's a god killer.
Wait, no, they probably did tell her that because she knew the story.
Right. No, she knew what them boxes were. It was very, very cool. Well, with that, you know, it's been long enough, so let's get this freaking thing wrapped up. Any last thoughts on the Justice League tonight, sir?
I definitely think it's better than what most fans and critics say it is, and I would definitely check it out. And I'm looking forward to what's coming next.
Yeah, I would agree with you. This one's definitely one you can watch. Batman versus Superman, whatever. Fast forward through like the first 2 hours of that one and check out the rest of it, and you'll probably be okay to catch up past that. And with that, everybody, that's going to do it for our edition of What You're Watching here, this Monday night edition. That's right. We are going to have a hangout afterwards. I am loading it up right now as we speak. And I will put the link in the chat as soon as we go off the air.
Shapoopy. And the Call the Iowa Boy. Yes.
There you go, people. We'll see you next week. Hang out here shortly.
Oh, yeah.